There are plenty of people on Earth who just can't stand bugs. They think they're creepy, crawly, and somehow manage to get everywhere. Well, they do contribute to the ecosystem in one way or another, but some of them are seriously poisonous, and a single bite or sting can actually kill you. And then there are the ones that don't bite once. They swarm and unleash wave after wave of venom. So with all that terrifying chaos in mind, here are the 15 most poisonous bugs in the world. Number 15. Deer tick. Well, it's no bigger than a sesame seed, but the deer tick is the definition of stealthy and sinister. These tiny parasites don't make noise, don't leave a mark at first, and can stay latched onto your skin for days without you even realizing it. Their bite is completely painless because they release a natural numbing agent when they dig in. And while they're feeding on your blood, they could be transmitting something way worse, Lyme disease. It's not rare either. In 2016 alone, around 30,000 cases were reported in the US. That number isn't even close to the actual count, because many go undiagnosed. It's not just Lyme either. Deer ticks can carry multiple deadly infections that mess with your nervous system, heart, and joints. What's worse, they often show up on outdoor trips, and most people never check until it's too late. One moment you're hiking, the next you're battling joint pain and brain fog for years. We say just one thing to you: stay alert, check your clothes, and never assume you're safe just because you can't feel the bite. Number 14. Tarantella Hawk. Despite the misleading name, this isn't a bird or a tarantula. It's a wasp, and not just any wasp, but one that delivers what's widely considered the most painful insect sting on Earth. Victims often describe the sensation as pure electric agony, a deep burn that short-circuits the body. The man behind the Schmidt Pain Index, a scale for measuring insect stings, rated this one near the top. He even suggested you lie down and scream if stung, because the pain is so intense, you might injure yourself reacting. That sounds dramatic, but many agree. The sting isn't usually fatal to humans, but if you're a tarantula, you're in real trouble. This wasp doesn't kill outright. It paralyzes its prey, lays an egg inside, and lets the larva feed on the spider from the inside out. Brutal, efficient, and perfectly evolved. They're mostly found in deserts or tropical regions, and thankfully they don't go out of their way to sting people. But if provoked, you'll remember it, maybe not the sting itself, but everything after. Number 13. Blister beetles. These beetles aren't dangerous when they're alive and crawling through the field. They become lethal when they're dead and accidentally eaten. That's because blister beetles contain cantharidin, a powerful toxin that doesn't lose its strength after the insect dies. Just a handful crushed into livestock feed can kill a horse. Humans aren't exactly lining up to eat them, but that's part of the danger. They can be crushed along with crops like alfalfa during harvest and go unnoticed. Farmers have to take serious precautions to keep these beetles out of their fields, especially in regions where they thrive. Contact with cantharidin doesn't just affect the digestive system, it can cause skin to blister on contact, hence the name. There's no known human fatality from them so far, but the risk is very real, especially if you're handling infested hay or contaminated produce. These aren't the beetles you squash without thinking. Even in death, they're dangerous, and if they get into your food chain, they don't need to sting or bite to do serious damage. Number 12. Asian giant hornets. Back in 2020, the world was already a mess. Pandemic panic, political circus, and then came the news about murder hornets. Yeah, the Asian giant hornets that supposedly flew in from Japan to wipe us all out. Dramatic, but not entirely wrong. These hornets are terrifyingly real. One sting won't instantly kill you, but a swarm might. They don't die after stinging like bees do. They sting repeatedly, and their venom causes intense pain and deep tissue damage. Some victims have described gaping wounds and burning sensations that don't fade quickly. Deaths have occurred, usually when someone couldn't escape a swarm, like the woman in a wheelchair who was tragically stung to death. The hornet's venom isn't the most lethal in the insect world, but it packs a punch, and if you're allergic or overwhelmed, it can be fatal. And technically, it's not even a hornet, it's a wasp. So yeah, while the murder title was a bit much, these things aren't something you want buzzing around your backyard. They are just not good. Number 11. Botfly. There's nothing glamorous about the botfly. It's not venomous, it won't bite or sting, but it's one of the most stomach-turning bugs on this list. What makes it disturbing is how it breeds. The human botfly lays its eggs using other insects, like mosquitoes, as delivery systems. Once inside the skin, the eggs hatch, and larvae begin growing right under your flesh. You might not feel anything at first, but then the itching starts, followed by a strange lump that moves. That's when it hits you, something is living inside you. In some cases, these larvae are found near the eye, which turns removal into a surgical nightmare. They typically target cows and deer, but humans aren't off limits. And once embedded, there's no DIY solution. You'll need a doctor to get it out. Stories of people discovering them weeks after travel are common, especially in Central and South America. You won't die from a botfly, but the trauma of knowing something was feeding on you from the inside, that sticks with you. Alright guys, now let's talk about number D's. Assassin caterpillar. The name says it all. The assassin caterpillar isn't here to play games, it's here to ruin lives. This venomous nightmare is considered the most dangerous caterpillar on Earth, and unlike most of its fuzzy cousins, this one actually kills people. Over 500 confirmed deaths in South America have been linked to its sting. That's not a random stat, it's a pattern. This caterpillar might only be 5 centimeters long, but its body is lined with spiny bristles that can inject a toxin that prevents your blood from clotting. That means internal bleeding, organ failure, and possibly death. People who've come into contact with one have reported pain so severe it made them collapse, sometimes within minutes. Its venom is designed to keep predators away, but humans aren't exempt. And no, you're not safe just because you live outside of South America. It's not in your backyard, but travelers and imported plants can carry surprises. Number 9. Brown recluse spider. Even in places where people think they're safe, this spider quietly exists in basements, garages, and old shoes, just waiting to be disturbed. It's not aggressive, but it's not harmless either. If bitten, the real damage happens under the skin. We're talking necrosis, where the flesh around the bite dies off, leaving open wounds that sometimes take months to heal. The venom is potent enough to kill skin tissue, and in rare cases, the person, children, and those with weak immune systems are at the highest risk. There was even a case of a home infested with thousands of them. No bites, luckily, but that's a gamble no one should take. These spiders are common in the southern and central US, and they don't build visible webs. You won't know they're around until you feel the bite. It's not the kind of pain you scream about. It creeps in, spreads, and leaves lasting damage. If you see one, give it space or call in someone who knows what they're doing. Number 8. Amazonian giant centipede. This thing doesn't crawl, it stalks. The Amazonian centipede is one of the longest and most aggressive species of its kind, reaching up to 30 centimeters. That's a foot-long armored predator with legs. It's not just size that sets it apart, it's what it hunts. Most centipedes stick to bugs, but this one feeds on lizards, frogs, mice, and even bats. It coils around its prey, injects venom through its sharp forcipules, and waits as the toxin does its job. There's only one confirmed human fatality, involving a boy in Venezuela who unknowingly drank from a soda can that had one inside. He didn't survive. That story alone is enough to make you double-check every drink can in a jungle. The venom causes swelling, severe pain, and in smaller animals, quick death. For humans, it's not typically fatal, but not an experience you'll walk away from lightly. The Amazon rainforest is full of strange things, but this centipede is one of the few that deserves genuine fear. Number 7. Yellow jackets. Quick, aggressive, and capable of stinging multiple times without dying, yellow jackets are one of the worst backyard threats during warm seasons. Unlike honeybees, they don't lose their stinger, so once they go in, they're ready for round 2, 3, or 10. What makes them worse is how easily they're provoked. Mow the lawn near a hidden nest, or open a soda can that one's crawled into, and you could find yourself swarmed in seconds. They inject venom with each sting, and while it's usually not fatal, allergic reactions can escalate fast. People with sensitivities can go into anaphylactic shock before they even realize what's happening. And it's not just individuals that are dangerous, it's the hive. Disturb one, and the whole group gets involved. In rural areas and suburbs alike, they're infamous for attacking without much warning. Medical treatment is usually straightforward, but the pain and swelling can linger for days. If you hear that buzzing sound while reaching for your drink, back off. It's not worth finding out the hard way. Number 6. Saddleback caterpillar. Well, you probably didn't expect to see a caterpillar on this list, but surprise, this little guy isn't here for a Disney transformation. The saddleback caterpillar looks like a walking leaf with a colorful middle, but those hair-like spines, they're venom-coated weapons. Touch it the wrong way, and your skin will burn, your stomach might flip, and in extreme cases, it could trigger migraines, asthma attacks, ruptured blood vessels, or even anaphylactic shock. Not exactly a peaceful metamorphosis. Some collectors love caterpillars for their beauty, but this one comes with a very clear warning: don't touch. People who've had bad reactions from it often describe the pain as deep and radiating. Nothing like a bee sting. Experts say if you have to handle one for some reason, why would you? Remove the spines immediately. That's the only way to avoid that venom turning your afternoon into a trip to the ER. It's cute in the way that deadly jellyfish are cute, nice to look at, but better left alone. Number 5. Kentucky flat millipede. Let's switch gears from caterpillars to something longer and way weirder. The Kentucky flat millipede. Sure, it's not an insect, but tell that to anyone who's found one crawling up their wall. What makes this creature stand out isn't just its creepy look, it's the fact that it secretes cyanide. Yep, actual cyanide, the same toxic compound you see in spy movies. If you handle one and don't wash your hands, it could cause serious irritation, or worse, if you touch your mouth or eyes. But the real curveball: these millipedes can host a bizarre parasite that essentially brainwashes them. Once infected, they're manipulated into climbing to high places just before death, where their bodies explode and release spores to infect other hosts. Nature doesn't mess around. While they're not out here hunting humans, the combination of chemical defense and zombie parasite horror makes this millipede the stuff of sci-fi thrillers. If you're ever tempted to pick one up, don't. It's not worth the hand sanitizer. Alright guys, now let's move to Number 4. Africanized honeybee. Often confused with their gentler cousins, Africanized honeybees or killer bees are the result of a scientific experiment that backfired hard. Created in the 1950s to increase honey production, they escaped and crossbred, eventually producing one of the most aggressive bee species on Earth. If their hive is disturbed, they don't just attack. They mobilize in full-blown swarm mode. Hundreds can chase a person for over a quarter mile, stinging non-stop the whole time. And unlike some other bees, these ones don't give up. They've killed over 1,000 people across the Americas, mostly due to the sheer volume of stings and an unrelenting chase. What's terrifying isn't just the venom, it's the persistence. One wrong step near their territory, and it becomes a life-or-death sprint. Their venom isn't unusually potent, but with enough stings, it overwhelms the body fast. If you even suspect a hive is nearby, forget the heroics. Get far away and call in the pros. Killer bees aren't a myth, they're just bad science that never got contained. Number 3. Toxic tiger butterfly. Looks can lie. The toxic tiger butterfly is a perfect example of evolution hiding danger behind beauty. With its vibrant black and orange wings, this butterfly might seem harmless, something you'd expect to see gently landing on a flower or framed on a postcard. But its body carries enough chemical toxins to make predators think twice. The poison doesn't come from biting or stinging, it's in their tissues. Birds and other animals that try to eat them quickly learn it's a mistake. They taste horrible and trigger instant rejection. What's wild is that this butterfly's toxin is chemically related to the venom used by cone snails, which are known to paralyze fish in seconds. Scientists still don't fully understand how a butterfly ended up using the same compound. It's not dangerous to humans through touch, but it's a solid reminder that not everything colorful and slow is harmless. The tiger butterfly is alive and well across Asia, floating through the air with a deadly edge most people never see coming. Number 2. Velvet ant. Despite the name, this isn't an ant at all. It's a wingless wasp. Velvet ants, often called cow killers, earned their terrifying nickname from the brutal sting they deliver. No, they don't take down cows, but the pain from their sting is so intense that old-school farmers swore it could. Covered in bright orange-red fuzz, they look more like tiny stuffed toys than a threat. But anyone who's made the mistake of stepping on one or handling it bare-handed knows the regret that follows. On the Schmidt Pain Index, it clocks in at a solid 3 out of 4, which is way beyond just unpleasant. The venom isn't lethal to humans, but it will leave you hurting, possibly nauseous, and seriously reconsidering any casual backyard bug collection. Found mostly in the southern US, they're not overly aggressive, but they don't tolerate being disturbed either. Pain is the only trick in their book, but it's one hell of a trick. One sting can ruin your entire day, and maybe the next few too. Number 1. House centipede. Easily mistaken for a harmless creepy crawly, the house centipede is more intense than it looks. Its long legs, twitchy movements, and speed already make it hard to ignore, but it's the bite that people don't see coming. It won't go out of its way to attack, but when threatened or cornered, it can strike. The venom isn't lethal to humans, but it causes swelling, sharp pain, and allergic reactions that can last for days. Some bites even mimic severe inflammation, leaving behind red, ballooned skin and discomfort that sticks around. These centipedes tend to show up in basements, bathrooms, or any humid part of the house. And while they're technically helpful, eating roaches, silverfish, and other pests, their sting makes coexisting a bad idea. Infestations aren't rare either, especially in older homes with easy wall access. Once they move in, they're hard to get out. If you've seen one dash across the floor, you already know they don't play and they don't slow down. Handle with care or not at all. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you pretty soon.